What is up, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I rig my soft big swim baits. This time of year, a lot of people will switch from hard glide baits to bottom baits like Huddleston, Magnums, Alpha Trouts, and stuff like that. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I rig my big soft swim baits. I use Braid. I know a lot of guys will use either mono or wire. I like Braid. It's really easy to use, and I have just a bunch of Braid around, so that's what I use. So we're going to take a look at the bait, and we're going to get right into it. Alright guys, so the bait of choice I'm going to be doing is the 11-inch soft tool. It's a gigantic bait. It does come with one hook down here. That's not really good enough for me just because it is such a giant bait, and sometimes the fish will want to T-bone it here or come up from behind. It might not get the full 11 inches of the bait in their mouths. So I'm going to rig a stinger hook. I'm going to rig it back here right in between these two fins. And now with this rigging, it can be done both on top of a bait or on the bottom. Today I'm just going to do the bottom just because I don't really like the top hook on the soft tools. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take off this hook because it might get in the way of me trying to get the braid through the hook hanger that's down here. Alright, so I took off the hook. I'm going to put that to the side. I'll put that back on later. Now I'm going to get my stinger hook. This is just a quad that I broke off one of the prongs on, so it's just going to lay nice and flat right here in between those two fins. Just like that. So I'm going to grab my braid. Now with my braids, I don't go less than 65. This is tough line force. This is what I use pretty much for my smaller swim baits, like an 8-inch Huddleston, a 6-inch Hud, or any of the smaller baits, 8 inches and under. With my bigger baits, I do like to go with 80 pound. This is just Berkeley, 80 pound right here, a little more visible hopefully. So now with each and every bait that you're going to rig, you're going to have to play with how much length you need to figure out to use to cut for the braid to where you want it on the bait. If you want a hook way back here, you're going to have a lot more braid out than what you would want like a stinger back here. You would have a little bit less. So I'm going to play around with it. I believe you want to start with one of the tag ends right here at the top of the bait and then come down to where you think you might want it. So I'm probably going to put it right there. Grab my scissors. And then I'm going to cut the braid. Now I'm just going to have these two tag ends and just a piece of strand of braid. I'm going to grab my hook. I'm going to feed one of the tag ends through. And I'm going to have the knot go right in the middle of those two. I'm going to grab both tag ends. And pinch them together. So pretty much right there. Now I'm going to come down here to the bottom of my bait. Find the hook hanger. And I'm going to put the two strands right through the hook hanger. Now that I have that through, I've got my hook over here, and my two tag ends going through there. I'm going to go about halfway, so the hook's here, and then the two tag ends are here, and I'm just going to start wrapping it around. Now if I have more braid out, longer leader, then I can wrap it about 5 or 6 times without it being difficult to put these two tag ends back through the loop that you're about to make. So I got these two tag ends, and I've got a loop down here. The loop that I made, I'm going to open up that loop so I'm able to get these two tag ends back through it. So I get the two tag ends through it. I'm going to grab the hook. I'm going to hold on to the two tag ends, and I'm just going to cinch it down. I'm going to push it down. I'm going to cinch it down, make sure that's nice and tight. And I'm going to look back here, and it's pretty much just where I wanted it, right behind those two fins. Whatever you want to put down your hook with, either may just be one of the prongs of the hook or a paper clip, you can do that now. And that's pretty much all you have to do with that. So So I'm going to grab my paper clip here. I'm going to come back to the bait. And then I'm going to just insert the paper clip. Make sure that's nice and tight. So that's what it's going to look like. Right there, it's going to be nice and flush to the body of the bait. You got the paper clip holding it so it doesn't come out. And the braid's going to be tucked up against the belly side so it's not coming out too much. So it's pretty clean. And then of course I'm going to come back and grab the hook that I had on here. I'm just going to put it right back where I got it from. And voila, you have it right back to where you want it with the stinger hook leading back to the back of the bait. So just in case I do hook like a smaller fish that comes up from behind it and eats it, it doesn't have to eat the entire bait to get this one hook right here. So I do this again with pretty much every single one of my soft baits. If I really feel like I want a sting hook and the fish aren't getting the baits how I want it to, as in pretty much just choking the bait and they're just kind of, you know, swiping at it or just T-boning it, a stinger hook will always, most of the time, will hook them. So that's one way to rig it. That's how I rig all of mine. I know, again, a lot of guys like to use wire. I know some guys like to use mono. But with me, I think that braid technique, it's worked for me. This way has never failed me. And a lot of guys will never use braid just because it's failed them. But if you rig it the right way, it will last a long time. I've hooked over probably 10 fish on one of these before I even thought about retying another one. So again, if you guys rig it the right way, it will last you a lot of fish and it will never fail you. So that's my way of rigging soft baits with braid. I know there's other ways you can do it with braid, but that's just the one that I've been doing lately and it's just been working great. So you guys can give it a shot, and of course, hopefully you guys catch some big bass this year. I know this is probably the most perfect time of the year to be throwing big soft swim baits. Those fish want it down there on the bottom, slow rolled, something in their face that they can eat. And thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, chase your dreams.